Need to vaccinate children against the flu, against all flu. So this is one of the reasons why we're here, and I would ask you to support as membership Health Freedom Ireland and Tracy O'Mahony. And you as parents, you have to stand up now. Parents in Ireland, talk to all of parents in your class. Parents, you have the responsibility to look after the welfare and well-being of your children. Do not rely on the state. Do not rely on what you're being told by RTE. I would totally say you take back your parental and guardian responsibility, and this vaccine is not necessary. Say no! 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 Truth and freedom! So we don't need a vaccine for COVID-19, but just I wanted to read out some of the results from a candidate vaccine. And of course, I was censored, as you know, on YouTube for talking about nutrition, vitamins, zinc and hydroxychloroquine. And you have to ask yourselves, who has the right to censor health information for an essential medicine of the world, a magic bullet, one of the most essential and safe ingredients no one has? Say no! No censorship! No! So this is Modena, okay, the vaccine candidate, the results from a phase 1. So it caused 80% of phase 1 participants had side effects ranging from fatigue, 80%, 80, chills, 80%, headache, 80%, muscle pain, 53%. And after the second dose, 100% of all participants experienced side effects. Do you want that? Do you want that vaccine? No! Say no! And of all of the groups in the second dose, they had either one or more significant side effect. So I would say there is no problem. We don't need a vaccine for a solution, but it could come up very quickly in emergency legislation. So each of you have to write a letter again, a notice of liability to the school, to your teachers, to your principals, to the governing board, and say, I am not giving permission for my 4-year-old to 12-year-old to get this vaccine. We don't want it. Say no. Truth and freedom. So I'm almost done. I just wanted to give you more good news. So I will be writing, I have written a report. It will be published next week. We'll want you to read it and challenge me and debate Dolores. If something is wrong, I will admit it. But about 6 weeks ago, I was talking to a lot of the scientists around the world. And actually for the last 3 months, we have been networking on all continents of the globe. And we hold Zoom meetings. And because we know we're up against like a spider, where these health organizations that are often unelected, that they have the power, and we've been actually with pharmacists and doctors and whistleblowers around the world, we can see a pattern that hydroxychloroquine was withdrawn or destroyed at a certain time all around the world. That the media started to amplify non-existent adverse events, that people who had COVID-19 were transferred when it was known in January the elderly were a high-risk group. The people who had COVID-19 were transferred from hospitals to the elderly. Shame on them. And killing the elderly. Shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them. And those very same elderly are now still locked up in care homes and they can't hug their families. It's wrong. There is no need for it. Shame on them. 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 And then they didn't provide the proper medical treatment, and a lot of the elderly died breathless and in pain and not in hospital. And as we saw, Dr. Vernon Coleman in the UK said that they've brought in rules about non-resuscitation that doctors can make without consultation with the family, and this is for people who may actually be, if they were given hydroxychloroquine, be alive today. So shame on them. That has to be shame. Shame on them! 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 So we have now a network of 12 countries in the world where all of the lawyers are calling and doing public inquiries. But we have already distributed the information in case one or two of us might have disadvantages with our internet connections or our jobs, which some of them has. So we have a spider web network. We're going to liaise with all of the inquiries. But the medical doctors around the world are also liaising, and we are holding, I'm one of the main organisers, a rally in London on the 29th of August to end the lockdown. And we will have speakers like Senator Scott Jensen, a senator and medical doctor, and he was fired because he spoke about the changes to the cause of death certs. He was fired. He was a Minnesota Doctor of the Year, and he was an acting and elected senator. He was fired. Another doctor who I'm very proud to work with is Dr. Muhammad Adil, and he gave out a video in April 2020 for 4 papers about hydroxychloroquine, a surgeon with an unblemished record for 20 years, and he was asked to leave the hospital and fired because of that video. And he is one of the organisers, and the nurse, Kate Shamari. So at this video or rally, we will have 15 doctors and nurses from around the world, including Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. But also, the rally, the 500 doctors have actually organised together to generate an extra parliamentary inquiry in Germany. And they have asked if they can link up with us in London. So we are streaming of our speeches will be filmed in London, and you may not have heard this because the RTE may have kept it from you. But on the 1st of August, when they held a rally in Berlin, 1.3 million people turned up to that rally. 1.3 million. So over 1% of the German population. And on the rally in Berlin, the 29th of August, they expect to have 2 million people at that rally. We are also, because of our networking countries, we are simultaneously, I'm organising rallies in Uruguay, Peru, Argentina, Mexico, and Brazil. And I just want to give a shout out to our German colleagues in Leipzig to have a close relationship with us. They have had a rally at the same time as us. So if you just say hello to Leipzig today. Very good, thank you. So I'm just going to finish up just to say you have to leave here today and take responsibility. If you are a parent or a grandparent, you can write to your local school and your local GP to say, we do not want you to destroy the next generation of children, no masks, no social distancing. And you can write to your TDs and to your GPs and say, are you going to prescribe hydroxychloroquine, or to the politicians and the medical organizations, are you going to allow hydroxychloroquine for the elderly and the people that need it for influenza and COVID-19 infections? So truth and freedom, thank you very much. Truth and freedom, thank you very much. Truth and freedom, thank you very much. We are the change. You are the change. We are the change. You are the change. We are the change. You are the change. Thank you. Together we can move mountains. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, and again, I know everyone's tired.